Finally, we've been shown our first new jet aircraft for update 1.89. Let's take a look. Alrighty, so this is the F-86K. This is a NATO export variant of the American F-86D, which is a modification of the well-known Sabre jet fighter, which is seen fairly extensively through various modifications in-game already. Now, you may notice the major difference from the normal Sabres to this one is, of course, the whacking great radar installed on the front of the aeroplane. This, of course, will mean that this will have radar usage, and also this will have Sidewinder missiles. And Gaijin say an afterburner, of course, currently, at least as of now in game, the afterburner doesn't really have any visual effect. It just gives you an extra amount of power and burns off the fuel quite a bit faster. There's no actual visual change in the exhaust when you go up to sort of afterburner power. So, of course, Gaijin recently have been doing pros and cons in their dev blogs, and what have they got this time? Well, first off, for the pros, air-to-air missiles. These are AIM-9Bs, the earlier variant of the Sidewinder, afterburner, and 20mm cannons. And then for cons, they say it's subsonic. An aircraft being subsonic isn't particularly a major con, even in top tier. Using, for example, the G91R variants, you can easily fight a T2 with them depending on how good the player is in the T2. So being subsonic, not expressly a major weakness. So this vehicle, at least the one specifically shown in this devlog, is for the French Air Force, the French aviation tree. It is worth noting that both the French ones and a vast majority of the ones built for the Italians were built by Fiat. So this aircraft, despite originally being designed, I believe, by North American, the same company who designed the Sabre, this version was in fact built by Fiat. Same company made the G91. So a lot of people are being like, oh no, it should be on the Italian tree. Well, just hold your horses. We don't know yet if this might be on the Italian tree. This might just be showing the French one. We might get the Italian one a bit later this update. Or maybe like the Italian F-84G, I believe it is. I believe the G went over onto the French tech tree, or it might have been the B. But one of the F-84s just ended up on the French tree after a few updates. So it's likely if it isn't added to the Italians this update, we will see it soon. So in terms of speed, this vehicle can reach a max speed of 692 miles per hour or 1,115 kilometers per hour at sea level, of course. As they say, not going to set any new records in game, although it will get the job done. Fighting transonic opponents, not an issue. The radar will really help. The G91Y, I love that aircraft. It's subsonic and it doesn't have a radar. This does have a radar, so depending on the actual range of the radar, it might be very useful for sort of knowing, yes, there's an enemy aircraft over there, I'm going to stay away from him. So this, the Sabre Dog, it's called the Sabre Dog, the F-86D. So it was originally designated the F-95, but they changed the name back to F-86, just to make it seem like an existing Sabre variant. Although in actual fact, only 25% of the parts were actually in common with the original F-86. So it's called a Sabre, but it isn't really a Sabre. It's pretty much an entirely different aeroplane. So, of course, 20mm cannons. These are M24A1 cannons. Total of 528 rounds. Not too bad overall there. So, you know, pretty good. 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders. Same position as the other variants of the Sabre in-game that have the Sidewinders. Same positioning as on the Japanese Sabres. And I also believe the CL-13B. Do correct me if I'm wrong, though. But yeah, so F-86K coming to the French tech tree as of 1.89, and maybe the Italian tree as of 1.89, or possibly the Italians just at some other time in the future. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. There will be much more devblog and hopefully soon dev server content on my channel over the coming weeks, so do keep an eye out for that. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.